All right, what's going on, dudes? And welcome to part 2 of our look at Minecraft Snapshot 15W34A. We're going to be focusing on command blocks this time because, what is this? We have command blocks with different colors? What is this witchcraft? Even the bat is interesting. He's like, I've never seen this before in my life. So yeah, we've got 3 different types of command blocks. They don't differ by that much. They still execute commands, that's what they all do, except they do it in different ways. So we've still got our standard command block. This is called the impulse command block though. So if we type in /say impulse, hit done, and then trigger that command, it says impulse in the chat. That's just because I typed impulse. So the impulse command block is like the command block we've always known and loved. And you apply a signal to it, it executes its command, and you're good to go. But you may notice that we've got these directional textures on it now. Right now it's pointing upwards, and then on the top of this thing, it's more of like a circular diamond sort of texture, because command blocks are now actually directional, which will make sense in just a moment when we move on over to the chain command block. So you're actually able to toggle between the few modes with this button down here. So impulse to chain to repeat, back to impulse. I just set them all out separately because why not? So the chain, let's go in here, we can copy this command and we'll put it down in here. And if I flip this, nothing happens. You're like, wait, what gives? It's a command block. Why isn't it running the command? Well, the way the chain command block works is it has to be used in a chain like that, which we'll get to in just a moment. So on its own, without a command block feeding into it, it won't actually do anything. Now, lastly, over here, we've got the repeat style command block. So we'll switch that to that. And now if I apply this here, it keeps on doing the same command every tick over and over until the signal is cut off. So I can type that in there. It's going to scroll up. Even though you can't really see it repeating, it's repeating it quite a bit. So if I put a summon command in here, I would wreak havoc, basically. So we can turn that off and then the text will fade away, and we'll be good to go. So that's the 3 different types of command blocks that we have here. Again, toggleable at the bottom with that button there. So the way this works in practice with the chain command blocks is that if we have a sequence over here and we apply a signal here, it'll actually run the entire line of commands. Now this is where the direction comes into play. You see how I have all the arrows facing in the same direction? That's because this command feeds into this one, feeds into this one, feeds into this one down the chain until it reaches the end. Now the way these directions work is very similar to a piston. So it'll just point towards you wherever you're putting it down. So if I put it here, it's pointing towards me. If I put it down when I'm jumping on top, it's gonna point upwards. If I put it down when I'm below something, it's gonna point downwards. That's how the directions work. And as long as you have the directions feeding into another command block and it's in chain mode, then you can have a whole line run with just a single starting command. Now, the chain command blocks have to be powered in order for them to run their commands, but assuming that they have an input, then they'll run them. So this one says, say, yo, what's up, dog? Because I had nothing better to say. Now, if I go and actually remove one of these redstone blocks here, and then I run the command again, it says, yo, what's dog? I do not know what dog is. Please tell me what dog is. If I remove this one over here, it just says, yo, what? And you're like, please finish your sentence, please. And I can say, yo, up dog. What's up, dog? So again, it just has to have a signal, a redstone signal, in order for the chain to work. Now, similarly, we can just do it in a different direction. So rather than having it along the ground, if we have all the arrows pointing upwards, we can have a stack, and this lever is just gonna power all 3, and this one's in repeat mode. So while this is powered, it's gonna keep repeating that same command every single tick, and then powering the 2 in chain. So now it's gonna say, up we go, and it's gonna keep doing it, and it's gonna keep doing it, and keep doing it until I turn it off, and then it stops. So there we go. And that's what happens if we switch the first one to repeat, tie it to a chain, keep it powered, and then it'll just keep running the thing over and over again, wreak havoc. If you have a summon or something, you'll wreck your save and lag your entire machine out. But hey, You know, maybe that's what you want to do. Now, you can have a whole snake chain of command blocks if you want, as long as every arrow points into the next command block, it'll run in a sequence. So if I turn these are both activated, so it's powering all these blocks here. If I activate this, it does test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't run 6 because you'll notice this arrow right here is pointing off into nothing. So if I change the rotation of this so it was pointing downwards, then it would run the entire thing all the way to 6. But for now, because it's not pointing to anything, 6 isn't getting triggered. So again, you just have to be mindful of the direction the arrows are facing, make sure that it's hitting the next command block, and then you can get the whole thing to run in chain. Finally over here, I don't have it on repeat. I have it on impulse mode, so it only sends the signal once, but we do have a summon here. So every one of these blocks is gonna summon a different zombie. Here we go. We have Bob, Joe, Mo, Larry, and Larry. I meant to do Curly on the last one, but I didn't, so. Now we get to take these guys out using the new PvP functionality, which if you missed part 1 of the new look at the snapshot, you're like, wait, why does my sword keep recharging? Well, that's just how it works nowadays. So I have to not hit as fast in order to make sure I'm dealing full damage. And there we go. We took them all out. If I want to do the command again, then there we go. Bob, Jill, Mo, Larry, and Larry. Because I copy-pasted instead of changing it again. So a whole bunch of applications for this makes it a lot easier to do things repetitively. So if you need to be, this is especially good if you're wanting to check for the location of a player, and you need the command to be continuously checking over and over, or player, or entity, just something. You need it consistently checking. This is very useful to have the repeat block in here, because then you no longer have to do the thing where, you know, you'd have the command block that's quickly placing a redstone block and then another command block that then deletes that when it's powered, and it goes back and forth and then just goes crazy with the clock every tick. So you don't need to do that anymore. It saves a lot of CPU, so it's much better this way around. So that's what's up with the new command. They're not the new command blocks. They're new command block functions that happen to be color coded. So that's pretty much it for now. So I thought I'd segment it into a different video because not everyone is necessarily interested in command blocks, but that's that. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, a rating would be super duper very much appreciated. Maybe we could go for like 36 likes on this video. Beat the last one, maybe. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks so much, and I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!